Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Dynasty Scrolls. As you can see, I have brought up the HUD of Haltal, my healer for the Han Nation, or should I say, Warlord. So a question was raised, and this will be a little bit of a Q&A sesh. Plus, we might cover a couple of the things that popped up. But I wanted to try and break this down I guess, mansplaining simplified manner. Granted, it may sound a little bit complex, but we kind of want to determine, is healing designed for maximum health? So is the percentage based on how much of the target the Howtow is healing, or is it based on the fact of how much attack Howtow has, and does that translate into healing? Now, short answer, and this is a bit of a bro science, I believe it is based off attack, and I'll try to explain a little bit behind my reasonings. Feel free to dispute that and come up with your own theory. Unfortunately, or fortunately, as to say, I have zero inclination to get into spreadsheets or to really get nitty gritty with this kind of concept within the game. I'm really not a min maxer at all. At least not in mobile games. Maybe some other sort of online games, sure, but not really needing too much of an investment in terms of time and energy to min max these characters at this stage. But in terms of how it would work out, so my attack is 1,642,000. So the little k in the end represents 1,000. So we can take that as 1.6 million, and my HP is 44.9 million. So, in terms of healing capacity, if we look at it like this skill, and mind you, this is, I think, talent 6, basically, I heal all my heroes, so all the heroes in my team, and we'll show you the demo. I heal them all for 143% of my attack plus 800. The plus 800 is a fixed amount, and it's purely additive, not multiplicative. I don't know if it scales based on the character's level or the situations behind the scenes. I honestly don't know why it says plus 800. Kind of just confuses me in terms of what the fuck does it actually do. I don't really feel like it's that important. What's important is looking at the 143%. Now, the interesting thing about healers and the healing statistic is that there is actually an additional boost. So if you scroll all the way down your little attribute table, there'll actually be this little thing, and it only appears on healers, heal increase. And as you can see, Haltao has an increase of 110%. So in reality, my heals are as follows. So my heal ability is 143% plus 800 plus 110%. Now, I don't believe the extra 110% is multiplicative. I do believe it's additive to the total. If it was multiplicative, we would see heals like, 44 million and stuff like that. Actually, probably a little bit higher than that. No, well, would we though? I'm just trying to. I don't want to get into it because I don't know the. I'm not a mathematician or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure that we would see quite significant increases to healing if it was multiplied by 110%. So I believe it's just additive. So the total would be around 253% plus that 800, which is like a random number. And that's pretty much it. So it's 253% times 1.6 million. And you probably get around 4.1 million in terms of healing. So if we go into a fight real quick, we will probably see something very similar to around 4.1 million in terms of healing. Remember, his basic doesn't hit as hard as that. It actually is a little bit less. So depending on what attack he does, we can kind of gauge it in that scenario. Now, we can just give this guy an attack, and I believe Haotao is the third one along. As we discuss this, there are some other mitigating factors in terms of healing effect. Haotao can crit. So if you see that, he did heal for quite a bit. I should probably have reduced. I'm just going to skip that and we'll jump straight back into it because I think that was a little bit too quick. Um, so he does actually have a chance to crit. Now, all your members within your team have a healing resistance, which I feel like is like a what the fuck stat. But basically, they can be resistant to the amount of healing that they would get from, say, Howtao, the pet, or the combo, which I think is a bit strange. But if we look at this, he healed 4.1k, which is 4, but it's basically it was 4.1 million that he just healed down the bottom. I wish I could slow this down. I don't do any editing, as you can probably tell by now, but we can see in terms of just how much that does. We can do a couple more examples. So we'll skip through ahead again. He does have a chance to crit, and crit, of course, is a deciding factor on just basically. I feel like crit is 1.5% in this game, so you can do essentially double, which would probably make sense why we're seeing the 7,000 or 7 million range of healing. Um, for those that picked that up, we were healing for around 7 million when he did crit. It makes sense. He has a 15% crit chance, though. His crit strength and crit reduction is stock standard, so it's still 0, 0. I feel like any crit is 1.5 in the damage formula. Again, we're getting into bro science here. I don't have any of the statistics in front of me. I just kind of wanted to give you a holistic approach to how healing works. But yeah, in terms of that, I do believe that it is fundamentally based off attack and it is not based off HP. Um, are healers effective? Are they necessary? If you really are only feeling for 4 million and you're looking at players that generally have around 43 million HP, is it really necessary to run a healer? Short answer is no, not particularly necessary to run a healer. I would prefer to run a legendary Cyan Rook, and I would also prefer to run a combo, which I should probably equip to this little thing down there. That's my opinion. I would probably say that that's a better option than running a healer. The other reason that you can run a healer though is because of the buff potential. For sure, additional crit is nice in terms of being effective and stuff like that. Like, I'm not going to discount them in terms of what they do. The Way Nation healer by far would probably be the most beneficial simply because it gives you 15% attack, whereas this is crit chance. So I feel like Way Nation's little healer is a little bit more effective in terms of buff range. Paintong increases anger for Wu Nation, and basically Big Mama Chow or Zhao or Q, I don't know how to pronounce the name. She does a healing over time for the Wu Nation as well. So Shu Nation, in fact, is Pangtong, not Wu Nation. Sorry. But as we continue along, hopefully that didn't confuse too many of you and attempted to answer some of those questions. We do have a limited blessing that is this is like day 2, by the way. This one's actually not bad in terms of if you did your little pulls yesterday and were like, oh shit, I don't have enough to build my legendary character. Well, lo and behold, we now have some shards we can buy. The selection chest gives you an option of all the current ones that are available in the limited hero event. In terms of value, again, I always preface to say I don't promote spending on anything, but if you are going to do it, you might as well have an informed decision behind it. In terms of value, yesterday's package gave you 35 of the tokens, and generally speaking, you have a chance between pulling 1 to 3 legendary heroes in a chest. It's a fairly significant percentage as well if you really break it down to pull the legendary and the probabilities. So you have a 29, let's call it almost 20, well, it is a 29.82% chance to pull a legendary chest, which is like a 1 in 3 essentially. And in that 1 in 3 chance, you have the probability to pull either a 1 shard. Let's see if we can get another one. A 3 shard or a 2 shard. So in terms of value, it's hard to say because 35 pulls probably could have netted you, if you were really lucky, 40-ish. So it's almost equal. It was a bit of a gamble, but yeah, look, I feel like those that waited around and went for the guaranteed, this would be the time because you don't have to worry about RNG and anything like that. But yes, it's not too bad in terms of investment. It will go away in 5 hours. So if you are interested in picking up those deals, for sure, go ahead, do that. You'll also hit the recharge. I believe I bought both packages yesterday and I got 13 additional rolls in the, where is the little thingy? In this one, I got 13 additional ones by buying both packages. So in terms of value analysis, it's decent. It's decent. They're not lying when they say it is decent value. Now, make sure for those that have unlocked this, you are starting to buy your solar ruins. I'm going to wait a little bit before the end just so I don't get outbid. But you will need to start upgrading some of your combos and you're going to start needing those ruins to do so. As you can see, there are quite a lot of charms that you can do. So that would be my advice if you start to progress a little bit past the mid-game level tier. So definitely be looking to invest in some of those ruins. It will buff your combo potency. But yeah, that's just something that I thought I would cover. In terms of this, I feel like everyone should be doing their beast hunt. Beast hunt itself is not terrible. You can do both this one, so I can do 2 more additional chances on the Ape King, and the X server, which has opened up. It is a grueling fucking episode. So I do not want to subject to you watching me fight this thing and talk shit for like 10 minutes. But basically, yeah, just get in there when this guy's at 100%. Nobody else is attacking it. If you see it, like if you see the links up here that isn't 100%, don't go in there because then you're gonna have to go and attack the other person that's attacking it. I don't want to get too complicated in the scenario, but yeah, basically you just want to wait for it to be 100%. You go in there, you attack it as much as you like, and hopefully you win. I don't know. That doesn't really. That just says loot history, but it tells me who did the most damage. That's kind of a bit weird. I did get some additional things, which is pretty cool for my beast. I got this one, which I haven't upgraded yet, so let's go ahead and upgrade. I don't know. I've got this thing about just not going above like a certain level, so we'll go to. I guess we can go plus. We can go plus 20 for these ones because it is a epic. I probably wouldn't do it for a rare, so let's just keep going. We'll get you the 20. There you go. So it definitely is worth it in terms of attacking the little bosses when they appear in server X. But I think that's pretty much it. I think that covers the majority of what I wanted to talk about. Hopefully that explained and not confused anyone in terms of healing and how healers work. I'm fairly 90% sure that it is attack based and not HP based on the target. Anyway, I will catch you in the next one. And I forgot to say thank you so much for 200 subs. Let's keep growing. Let's become the dominant force in all things Dynasty Scrolls, and hopefully get some, I guess, partnership programs going with Ultimate Dynasty Scrolls teams. That would be great if we could start to get some gift codes to hand out to people. But thanks for following, and stay tuned for the next one.